Tonight, a third person is charged in last week's double homicide. Remains found in Prince Albert confirmed as those of a missing girl. And a spike in housing startups in Saskatchewan.
Live from our studios in Regina, this is CTV News.
Good evening. A third person has been charged with second-degree murder in the deaths of two people on the 1100 block of Elphinstone Street back on August the 11th. In the early morning hours, the Regina Police Service received a report two people had been shot outside a home. Officers arrived and found a 42-year-old woman and a 37-year-old man dead. This morning, 30-year-old Faison Alexit was arrested, charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder, unauthorized possession of a firearm, and 4 counts of possession of a firearm or ammunition, contrary to a prohibition order. Will make his first court appearance tomorrow. Meanwhile, last week, 19-year-old Patricia Stevenson and 42-year-old Rose Sparvier were also charged with second-degree murder. We'll keep you updated on this case. Well, Prince Albert police have confirmed the remains found during a search last week are those of a missing 14-year-old girl. Police found the remains on Thursday as part of the investigation into Peyton Flett's disappearance. Flett was reported missing back on June 30th. An autopsy conducted today confirmed that the remains were hers. The Prince Albert Police Service's Major Crimes Unit is now investigating the circumstances around Peyton's death. Anyone with information on her disappearance or death are asked to contact police. Well, new data shows Saskatchewan is among the best in the nation for new housing startups, with new builds increasing nearly 24% last year. But as Donovan Mays explains, the rapid growth means space for development is running out.
Regina is growing faster than it thought it would.
We've seen quicker than anticipated population growth, adding around 30,000 new residents in the last 3 years.
Last year, Regina set a 5-year high for approved building permits with over 1,600. Of those, nearly 70% were multi-unit homes, duplexes, semi-detached units, or secondary suites. Just 15% single detached homes. And for a second year in a row, Regina named the most affordable major city in Canada to buy a home in.
As more folks come into the community, there's pressures on existing housing stock, and to maintain that affordability, a steady stream of supply needs to come online.
Now, this comes as the province is adding to its housing supply. The Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation says nearly 500 new homes began construction in July, up from under 400 in July of last year. A 24% increase, second among Canadian provinces.
There's a little over a year's supply of serviced lots.
In Regina, however, growth is coming at a cost, as the Home Builders Association says the city is running out of serviced lots available for development.
It takes years to build a new neighborhood, so you can't wait till you're out of lots to be making those decisions.
Our role is to support and foster an environment for investment and facilitating and expediting new housing.
Now, 2 years ago, the city projected it was going to need 57,000 new homes to support a 370,000 resident population by 2050. But with actual rates already surpassing initial projections this year, the city may need even more homes than it originally thought, like in this field here, which will one day become the Coopertown neighborhood. Donovan Mays, CTV News, Regina.
We're getting more details today about how first responders rescued a teenager from a storm drain in Saskatoon. The boy was actually in extreme danger as water from rainfall was filling up the pipe. Hallie Mandrick has details.
This was the scene on Friday evening as the Saskatoon Fire and Police Departments worked to rescue a teenage boy trapped in a storm sewer outfall.
While we appreciate the efforts of our emergency services to do this rescue, we wish we didn't have to do these kinds of things, and so we really just want to make sure people know not to go exploring in places like this.
According to the city of Saskatoon, a group of teenage boys entered the sewer located in the Silverwood Dog Park, and then it began to rain. 3 of them were able to escape, but the remaining boy was washed into a different direction, which had bars covering the outfall.
We can actually get a significant amount of water going through these storm sewer systems, and it can come very suddenly.
After a Saskatoon police officer held the teen's head above water for 2 hours, fire crews were able to remove the bars and rescue him him safely. Now, the city is reminding folks of the dangers that come along with entering infrastructure like this.
Unless you're a qualified individual and this is where you belong for work, just stay clear, keep clear. These are not places to explore, and I can't speak to the motivation of the individuals from the weekend and why they were there, but it's not a place for having fun and going exploring.
Lemke says, while all outfall points should have some kind of grate to prevent access, it can be difficult to monitor.
And so we do sometimes see some vandalism that happens, and we try our best with regular inspections to catch those where we can and how we can, and then get the repairs done. But as I said, with the hard to access locations on some of these, repair can be fairly time consuming and difficult to do.
Anyone who notices a damaged sewer outfall is asked to report it to the City of Saskatoon's customer care line. Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Well, some residents near Campbell Collegiate in Regina may have noticed a small police presence today. Regina Police Service was doing some training for the school resource officer unit at the school. RPS says the regular training allows officers to be prepared in case of an actual emergency as school resource officers look forward to the start of the school year. Well, the province is looking to buy a list of tactical gear for the Saskatchewan Marshal Service, including sniper rifles planned for use by a new special response unit. In addition to the rifles, a list of wanted equipment in a public request for bids posted last month includes night vision goggles, sound cannons, and ballistic helmets. The NDP opposition says the request appears to go beyond the Marshal's scope of duties. The Marshals say while no equipment has been purchased, the cost associated has been factored into the Marshal's existing budget, adding whatever is bought would depend on various needs. A Saskatchewan employer has been charged by the province, accused of making 2 foreign workers pay to work for him. The province says the alleged offenses took place at the Swift Current Husky Travel Centre between September of 2023 and August of 2025. Said Daha Rivzi and a numbered company are each facing 8 offenses under the Saskatchewan immigration legislation. The charges include charging a fee to a foreign worker for employment and taking advantage of a foreign worker and exploiting their trust. A date for the case to be heard is scheduled for tomorrow in Swift Current. The Saskatchewan NDP is calling on 2 cabinet ministers to personally come and visit Saskatoon's 20th Street West, where poverty, homelessness, and addictions are an everyday struggle.
People need support. They shouldn't have to live like this. I want to see everybody have a roof over their heads, not a tarp over their heads. Right? This is ridiculous in Saskatchewan, such a wealthy province, that this is happening.
In a letter, the NDP blames the provincial government for closing prairie harm reduction. The province firing back, saying the NDP trying to mislead the public. The decision to close prairie harm reduction was made by the organization's own board due to financial concerns. The government of Saskatchewan never funded the supervised consumption site, but did provide money for its other programs. The government cut that funding back in late March, just days before prairie harm reduction shut down. In an email to CTV News, the province says ministers have engaged with Saskatoon's 20th Street corridor and will continue to do so. The Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency, Prince Albert Grand Council, and Meadow Lake Tribal Council have agreed to collaborate on wildfire preparedness, prevention, response, and recovery. A memorandum of understanding was signed today, establishing a framework for First Nations leadership and knowledge to help inform wildfire planning and strategy in Saskatchewan. The agreement includes a commitment to regular engagement between the SPSA, the PAGC, and MLTC leadership before and after each wildfire season.
We know how quickly things can change when fire gets close. But our people also know these lands. And we have generations of knowledge about the forest, the water, and the weather, and the fire.
The collaborative work will also include federal involvement through Indigenous Services Canada and the Canadian Forest Service. All right, Sabine joins us now for our first look at weather. And that sun felt extremely hot today. It was nice to see.
Yeah, and it actually is feeling warmer. We have the humidity back, so it's making those temperatures feel a little warmer than they are. But we got right back into that seasonal range today, a little right on the dot, actually. Now that I'm looking at the board, 25.4 is what we warmed up today. Felt closer to about 27 by late afternoon. And those are the temperatures we're going to continue to see heading into the rest of the week. And also continue continuing to see a lot of that sunshine. We're also actually going to see those temperatures, the lows, much cooler this morning, waking up to about 6 degrees as the temperature, but we're going to see those lows climbing back up to that seasonal range as well. I don't have a lot to show you when it comes to active weather on the radar satellite over the last few hours. We will see some scattered precipitation. Most of it is expected overnight tonight and Thursday night, but I'll have details on that and more coming up in your full forecast.
All right, thank you, Sabine. We're still a few weeks away from the start of school in Regina. For some students, it'll be their first time. Today, Regina Public and Catholic School Divisions held their first ride program, giving first-timers a little bit of a dress rehearsal on riding the bus. Sierra D'Souza Butts tells us more about the fun, but also emotional day.
Learning about safety is nothing new to some kids.
If you're with your sibling or something walking to school, the older one should be on the roadside.
But for others, this is their first time. Through a First Ride program in Regina, students entering kindergarten and who are new to riding the bus are learning about safety.
I'm excited for her to learn some safety things, or like around busing and stuff, because this is my first kid going into kindergarten. So
I'm sure on the first day of school there'll be some tears for me, but I'm very proud of her. She walked confidently and joined her group, and I want to watch her fly, and that's what you want as a parent.
Organized by Regina Public and Catholic School Divisions, the initiative gives parents and their kids a practice run before the official send-off on the first day of school, making the transition for themselves and their parents a bit easier.
We're getting a lot of brand new parents and brand new students into each school zone, and when you add to that all the foot traffic, all the bike traffic, all the awesome first day of school pictures that we want to get, it can be a little intense. And so from a safety lens, taking the time to do all of that stuff now can lead to things being a little bit smoother.
Parents say they appreciate the initiative.
Anytime you have a chance to have questions answered and be prepared, and that's always a positive thing.
Regina Catholic Schools Division says more than 14,000 students from pre-K to grade 12 use the school bus, reminding kids and adults that safety is the top priority. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
Moose Jaw residents fighting to keep the snowbirds in the air instead of on hiatus for years have launched a new campaign.
This is just a very simple postcard campaign that was started by some good volunteers in the city of Moose Jaw. That name and address is all that's required on it, and then postage is paid. So it would...
On CTV Your Morning Saskatchewan today, Moose Jaw's mayor talking about the postcards that can be found all over Moose Jaw and can be sent directly to the Prime Minister's office. They're asking Mark Carney to reconsider a decision to pause the Snowbirds until new aircraft can be bought sometimes in the 2030s. The demonstration team has been based out of 15-wing Moose Jaw since 1971, and as it stands, the Snowbirds' final flight in their current Tudor jet fleet is scheduled for October in California. The city of Yorkton is looking to redevelop the JC Beach area in hopes of providing an outdoor pool and bringing back a cherished hangout spot. The project is in design phase right now. According to plans released this week, the city is looking to revitalize the original beachfront to give people in Yorkton access to an outdoor water area where they can go for no cost, complete with pathways, park space, and picnic tables. Feasibility work found concerns with pet waste from nearby fields, off-leash dog park, recommending that be moved. So the mayor said the popular spot will find its new home in Logan Flats. Now Yorkton is looking to the residents to get some feedback on both the beach development and the dog park relocation project.
There's going to be focus groups that are created. There's going to be an open house where people can visit and take a look at kind of the different ideas that the consultants have come up with. And really, what does the community want to see here? What is something that they feel would benefit their community and their families?
The final cost of the development will depend on the scope of the project. Regina International Film Festival is happening this week. Day one of the festival began with a screening of the film Tomoshibi at the Mackenzie Art Gallery. All week there will be screenings at various locations around the city and also virtual screenings on an online ticketed platform. There will be industry events including a post-production masterclass, film and music speed networking, and a screenwriter pitch event.
It has something for everyone. We have films from pretty much all over the world. We have films obviously from all over Canada. We have a strong representation of local filmmakers, Saskatchewan filmmakers. That's why we have the Saskatchewan Shorts. We have Indigenous filmmakers, animation. So we have, a variety of films. Please check out our program.
Saturday night, the festival will wrap up with the awards ceremony.
Still ahead, a court case that could have huge implications on social media. And teaching computer skills on the White Bear First Nation in this week's Indigenous Circle.
Greetings, everyone. White Bear First Nation is investing in their people with a new program which will give them the tools to succeed in a digital future. Thanks to a new addition to their post-secondary learning center, the nation now has the hardware to teach IT training. Leadership and their partners recently met to celebrate the opening of a new IT hub.
White Bear First Nations are now the owner of a technology hub, a space to develop skills in the tech sector and get set for the workforce. Having the hub on the nation will give students a unique opportunity to get post-secondary training without leaving home.
They're going to feel still connected to the community, still have that support system close by, and have a higher chance of success. And that's really what we want. We want them to be successful, graduate, and have a comfortable way of life.
Beginning this fall, the first cohort will be pursuing an IT technical diploma. White Bear leadership chose to build the hub because of the importance of technology and where the future is headed.
If we lean into it with initiatives like this, I think it's going to do nothing but become an asset for us, as long as we're using it in a way that still remains cultural to us, and again, bringing two worlds together.
A number of partnerships made the hub possible, including Lexcom, a Regina-based IT services firm. Lexcom says Indigenous nations cannot wait any longer. Now is the time to pursue technology training.
The future is about technology. That it's moving so rapid, so fast. If we miss this time frame within the next 5 years, we're going to fall way behind further and further as far as nations are concerned.
Many hours were put into getting the room ready. Now that it is up and running, there are all sorts of possibilities it can be used for outside of learning.
So it will allow other nations to get that training. That's one. The second thing is I'm hoping that this space gets used for other purposes that the nation might need, whether it's for healthcare, whether it's for security monitoring, or any other purpose that it has.
The IT Technical Diploma will be a 10-month program with plans for it to be offered for years to come.
If you have a story you would like to see in this segment, here's how to reach us. You can contact me by email, and you can also watch past episodes and segments of Indigenous Circle on our CTV Regina and CTV Saskatoon websites.
Indigenous Circle, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Indigenous Enterprise Foundation, growing the First Nation entrepreneurial spirit.
A landmark social media case is underway in California with huge implications for what you see and do online. 29 U.S. states are suing Meta, the parent company of Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, accusing the tech giants of harming young people. Alex Scarpa has more on what's at stake and how the lawsuit could affect regulations in this country.
What were you talking about?
Jocelyn Lalonde has 3 kids, including 11-year-old Josephine. She doesn't let any of them use social media, saying she's concerned about the impacts it has on young people.
Social media in our home is not an option, but I think it's important, of course, to have media literacy and to talk about these things so we don't shy away from the conversations.
Her concerns echo the questions now being asked at the heart of the Meta trial in the United States. A bipartisan group of 29 U.S. states is suing Meta, accusing the company over claims Instagram and Facebook were designed in ways that harmed young users' mental health.
These are some pretty serious claims. Meta tried every sort of legal theory that it could to get the case dismissed before trial, and those were basically unavailing. So there's a great deal of peril for Meta.
Meta is expected to tell the jury that the company made efforts to keep kids safe online. Experts say this is the biggest legal test on social media's effects on young users.
This is the reckoning that opponents of social media have been waiting for years.
At the beginning of June, Ottawa introduced the Safe Social Media Act, which proposes a 16-year-old minimum age requirement for social media use. Manitoba was the first province to announce a possible full ban in April. Tech analyst Carmi Levy says says the trial could reshape the entire social media landscape.
How the legal processes in cases that are currently in play in Canada will play out will largely depend on the precedent that's set in this American case.
Meta co-founder and CEO Mark Zuckerberg and Instagram chief Adam Mosseri are expected to testify at a trial that is scheduled to last for 6 weeks. Alex Carpus, CTV News, Winnipeg.
While the wildfire season has not been that bad in Saskatchewan, Canada is on pace for its 4th worst year on record.
We know that we're still in the heart of the wildfire season and that some communities across the country face really difficult and sometimes uncertain conditions.
There are currently 580 blazes across the country. 30 of them are out of control. More than 40,000 square kilometers have been burned so far this year. That's almost the size of Nova Scotia. September's fire risk could be well above seasonal averages across northern BC, northern Quebec, and most of Labrador. International superstar Shakira toured the destruction from last week's deadly earthquake in Colombia. The singer specifically mentioned the government of Canada in hopes the country will step up and help rebuild.
Al gobierno de Canadá, al gobierno de Japón, al gobierno del Reino Unido.
The Colombian celebrity also named Japan and the United Kingdom for possible support. Last week's devastating earthquake killed 280 people and injured thousands. Over 100 are still missing. Shakira says her foundation will help rebuild 10 schools in the country's poorest province. In northeastern Ukraine, a Russian missile attack killed 10 people in a village. At least 18 others were injured. Ukraine's president says the strike hit a busy intersection surrounded by residential buildings. The UN Human Rights Monitoring Mission is gathering information about the attack and its impact on civilians. The United Nations said last week that civilian casualties from this war had risen by nearly a third in July. Ukrainian forces launched one of their biggest drone attacks since Moscow's invasion over 4 years ago. Almost 800 drones were fired, more than 600 of them toward the Moscow region. Officials say in the capital that 180 were shot down and there were no reported deaths or damage, but 6 people were injured in regions outside the city. Ukraine launched a similar salvo 2 days ago. Well, history was made at the International Space Station today.
I will get in position for that Crew Lock Bag 1.
Okay, I am ready.
For the first time, a French woman has performed a spacewalk. Sophia Adnot and a crewmate were tasked with replacing a high-speed antenna. It is used for communications between the orbiting outpost and mission control in Houston. The astronauts started a little before 9 o'clock this morning and were out there for about 6.5 hours.
Still ahead, a New Brunswick teenager saves a shark that washed up on shore.
The countdown to back to school is on. Wednesday on Your Morning, lifestyle expert Rachel Nod shows off some of the coolest must-haves for back to class.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at your forecast. Heading into the rest of the week as we continue to see some beautiful temperatures, including even right this very second. In Regina, 25 degrees, feeling like 26, and nothing but sunshine. We may see a little bit of precipitation overnight tonight. And also possibly Thursday. But for what we've been seeing over the last couple of hours, we do have some of that scattered precipitation in the north, but most of central southern Saskatchewan, we're going to continue to see mostly clear conditions. And this is where we start to see the rain arriving through parts of Saskatchewan tonight. This system does lean further into parts of the parkland. So we will start the day. Let's just roll that. We'll see where the rain comes through. Prince Albert, Saskatoon overnight, and then by Wednesday morning, we have more rain along the eastern part of Saskatchewan, including in the parkland. So if you happen to be in and around that area, you will be waking up to some rain, and that system looks like it won't clear out until around noon. So most of your morning expecting it to be rainy, and then we'll start to see more of that sun arrive later in the afternoon and into the evening. A little bit of that cloud cover, but for the most part, into the rest of this week, we're looking at mostly sunny conditions. Now, Thursday, we do have some scattered precipitation to start the day in the southwest, and then we're going to continue to see clear conditions until we get into Thursday evening. There is a system that's largely sticking to the north, but there is another system that's going to come through the southwest from Alberta, and that will bring some rain overnight Thursday into Friday morning for parts of southern Saskatchewan, including in the Regina area. But again, it's looking like it's not a whole lot that's going to leave much in terms of rainfall totals. That's not until we get into Sunday, and the closer we get to the end of this week, I'll have a better idea of what we can expect, because again, between now and then, we could also possibly see that system weaken and not see any rain on Sunday. But let's talk about what's to come for tomorrow. Cloudier conditions for La Loche, but we're back into seasonal range for temperatures. 24 degrees there, 24 for Lloydminster and for Prince Albert. A little bit of rain expected in La Ronge, 22 there, and then 26 and mainly sunny for North Battleford and Saskatoon. Expecting some of that rain tonight overnight for those areas as well. Yorkton, 24, mostly cloudy. Again, starting the day in the Yorkton area with some rain, and then seeing some cloudier conditions before that starts to break up as well by the time we get into the afternoon. Seeing more sunshine for the southwest. Very warm temperatures, 28, mainly sunny for Maple Creek, Swift Current and Moose Jaw. The southeast, similar temperatures nearing 30 degrees for Weyburn at 29 with a mix of sun and cloud. Estevan, 28 and a mix of sun and cloud. A little cooler tonight with a low of 9. And then tomorrow for Assiniboia, 28 degrees and mainly sunny conditions. For Regina tonight, 13 and winds up to 20 kilometers an hour. We will see the winds pick up a bit to 45 kilometers an hour tomorrow. 26 is the expected high and mainly sunny conditions. And that just continues. By Thursday, we're looking at nothing but sunshine. 27 is what we'll be warming up to. By Friday, mainly sunny and 26 degrees. By Sunday, we do start to see the clouds roll in a little. So we'll see a mix of sun and cloud. 27 is the expected high. And then Sunday is the day we're expecting to see not quite a bit of rain, but mixed with that, we will see the winds picking up, gusting close to 60 kilometers an hour. So a blustery day expected. As of right now, like I said, could change. We'll see. We'll get a better picture when we get closer to the weekend. Monday, though, the winds continue to be quite high, gusting up to 50 kilometers an hour, but 27 is the expected high. Nothing but sunshine. And Tuesday, 26 degrees and mainly sunny conditions. So a very nice summer-like, a very nice summer week ahead.
And you're thrilled, right? Like
I'm just really happy for everyone who loves really warm temperatures and sunshine. Yeah.
But Labor Day's around the corner.
It is. It'll still be warm and sunny.
Yeah, it'll still be warm. Yeah. Still got some time, folks. Thanks, Sabine.
Thanks, Lee.
She's got to wait for that fall weather. You yell barracuda, everyone says, huh? What? Huh? You yell shark. We've got a panic on our hands on the 4th of July. Hey, great line from the 1975 movie Jaws. Murray Hamilton, the mayor. But not everyone panics when they see a shark. As Avery McRae tells us, a New Brunswick teen actually ran towards the fish in need of help.
Ben Holland has walked this beach by his Maces Bay home for over a decade. In that time, he has seen a few seals, a beached whale carcass, but never any shark sightings. Until this weekend.
I felt like I did the right thing, and it feels good.
Just before dinner Saturday afternoon, Holland heard a port beagle shark had washed ashore. He went right to the beach, and a closer inspection determined the shark was still living. He wasted no time jumping into action to save the over 100-pound fish.
I flipped him over from his back to his stomach, and I grabbed his tail slowly with subtle touch and pulled him, dragged him into the water.
If I'm being honest, it's a very Finn thing to do.
Finn's mother, Jill Holland, is beaming with pride for her son's efforts. But during the rescue, she had other thoughts.
I was terrified. He grabbed onto the tail slowly, but I was like, that thing can whip around and get you at any time. I was convinced we were going to go to the hospital that night, but very, very lucky we didn't have to.
Port beagle sharks tend to stay in the Bay of Fundy's deep waters and are declining in numbers. Marine Animal Response Society co-executive director Tanya Wimmer isn't sure what brought the shark to shore, but is pleased to hear about the happy ending.
To care that much and, obviously refuse to sort of simply walk by and see an animal that is suffering in that way is really quite wonderful.
In an email to CTV, Rural Community of Fundy Shores Mayor Denny Cogswell says the municipality plans to formally recognize Finn's heroics in the days ahead. But for the 15-year-old, it was never about the recognition. It was about doing the right thing.
I don't take pride in myself a lot, but I'm proud that I did this.
Avery McRae, CTV News, Maces Bay, New Brunswick.
Still ahead, it didn't take long for Cardiff baseball player Carter Beck to move up the ranks in the Atlanta Braves organization.
Here's what's happening in our community. Regina Victory Church will have their Summer Fest on August 22nd at 11 a.m. at 1825 Victoria Avenue East. For all the details, head to reginavictory.com. And a craft and trade show will be held on August 22nd at 2 p.m. at McNaughton Park in Regina. For all the details, head to rpcaregina.ca. Submit your event to our community by visiting our website, ctvregina.ca, and click Community Calendar or scan the QR code on your screen.
A day after hitting his first home run in professional baseball, Cardiff's Carter Beck is moving up the ranks in the minor leagues.
Cracked out to deep center field. That's over to Brunshead. That ball is gone!
Now, Beck had been playing with the Augusta Green Jackets, a minor league affiliate of the Atlanta Braves, who selected him 26th overall at last month's MLB draft. After playing 11 games for Augusta, the outfielder was called up to the Braves' high A team, the Rome Emperors. Beck will have his first chance to make his Emperors debut during their series against the Hub City Spartanburgers. I didn't make that up. That's their name. 3 coaches from Saskatchewan are celebrating the Canadian women's and men's flag football teams qualifying for the Summer Olympics in 2028. The squads, of course, punched their ticket at the World Championships in Dusseldorf, Germany. The men winning their bronze medal match against Mexico to claim the spot. The women, they went all the way, winning gold against the powerhouse Americans. Now, a couple of coaches from Saskatchewan did play a role in Canada's success. Video coach Thomas Retzlaff, assistant coach Joel Lipinski on the men's side, and assistant coach Tim Saferling on the women's side.
Building that culture and keeping that momentum going. You know, I'm obviously representing Canada is a dream come true. And from a coach's perspective, you know, after coaching 33 years of coaching, right? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, flag football will be making its Olympic debut in the 2028 games in Los Angeles. It's going to be fun. Well, a veteran presence has signed a new long-term deal with the Saskatchewan Rush. Mike Messenger, who's been with the Rush back in 2016, he joined them. He's entering his 10th season in the National Lacrosse League. The defender is the Rush franchise leader in various categories, including block shots. He had 7 goals and 20 points last season in transition. The team also re-signed fellow veteran Robert Church and Ryan Keenan last week. A 4-time PGA Tour winner is hosting a tournament in Saskatchewan this week, bringing junior golfers together while working to grow the game and inspire Indigenous youth. CTV's Stacey Hine has more.
Flags rise during the opening ceremony of the Nota Begay, the 3rd Western Canadian Championship at Dakota Dunes. The junior golf tournament is hosted by 4-time PGA Tour winner Nota Begay. Since launching his foundation in 2005, he has used events like this to open doors for young golfers.
We try and open up opportunities for all golfers. There's no membership fees. To get into an event like this, you have to qualify, but it's open to pretty much anybody that has a set of clubs and wants to come out and compete.
The Indigenous golfer is this year's recipient of the PGA Tour's Payne Stewart Award, recognizing character, sportsmanship, and charitable commitments. From Albuquerque, New Mexico, Begay played alongside Tiger Woods at Stanford before turning pro in 1995. Before reaching the PGA Tour, he spent 2 years on the Canadian Tour.
I've always had a very soft spot in my heart for Canada, which is why we continue to invest in junior golf here.
Young golfers competing here say they're eager to learn from him.
I just want to pick his brain. I want to learn his processes through the game and his processes through life as well.
He has a lot of knowledge and everything, and he's been around the sport for a long time.
Begay will also meet with Indigenous youth, sharing lessons from golf and life and showing them what the sport can offer.
I just try and equip them with some ideas and an understanding that they're not alone, number one, that they are important, and that golf is a great way to utilize their time if they have access to the sport, which is what we're trying to do through our series.
Whitecap Dakota Chief Darcy Baer says hosting the tournament is a chance to showcase the community and give young golfers a memorable experience.
Every athlete that's here today is going to have a memorable experience one way or another, whether it's a great shot or, or winning the tournament.
Baer says 104 boys and girls ages 10 to 18 are competing in the tournament. Top finishers will advance to the series national championships in Louisiana in November. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Whitecap Dakota First Nation.
Well, 3 athletes, 3 builders, and 1 team inducted today into the Regina Sports Hall of Fame as the class of 2026. Inductees for this year are Lois Cause for lawn bowling, athletics, Jans Steen for athletics. I remembered interviewing him. Danny Banda is multi-sports athletics. Rod Schmidt is a multi-sport builder. Mal and Dale Isaac. Dale used to work here a long time ago as multi-sport builders, as well as the 2006 Regina Squids men's water polo team.
To get to the level that I'm at even today stems from mixed martial arts and jiu-jitsu and my, dedication and stubbornness and how you always have to, you have to be there. You got to put in the time to beat somebody up.
A lot of the things I hear from people, one of the great things about the city is our facilities and things, when I go by fields that I was involved in the development of, you see people laughing and smiling, kids having fun. It's still rewarding 20 years after.
As the 23rd class to be honored, the induction ceremony will be held on Thursday, October 8th at the Queensbury Centre in Regina.
Still ahead, researchers explain how AI is making beings more resilient.
All right, welcome back. Let's take a look at what your rural forecast is looking like tomorrow. Pretty much the same as what we've been talking about. Warmer temperatures, more sunshine, and the east will see some rain starting first thing in the morning, and we'll stick around until we get into around the lunch hour, and then we'll start to see most of that rain clear out. But areas like Hudson Bay expecting to see showers to start the day. 22 is the expected high there. 23 for Melfort, 24 for Meadow Lake, Spiritwood, Wynyard, all seeing a mix of sun and cloud there. 26 mainly sunny for Watrous. Lloydminster, 25, a mix of sun and cloud. 27 for Kindersley, and Outlook 28 degrees. Closer to the southern border, warmer temperatures continuing. 26 degrees for the southeast, 23 for Kenora, 28 for Leader, Maple Creek, Rockglen, 29 for Coronach, 26 for Lumsden, Pilot Butte, and Rosetown, and Assiniboia, 27 degrees. If we take a closer look at La Flèche, located about 140 kilometers southwest of Moose Jaw, tomorrow warming up to 26 degrees, nothing but sunshine. However, starting your day, we could see a little bit of smoke throughout your morning, and then we'll clear out again around the noon hour before we see mostly sunny conditions. 26 is the expected high, feeling like 28 with winds up to 40 kilometers an hour.
Researchers at the University of Guelph have grown what they describe as a super bean, which can withstand harsher growing conditions. Karis Mapp reports they've got a little help, though, from artificial intelligence.
You will see the differences, and that's the magic of the AI.
Artificial intelligence is helping bean breeders from the University of Guelph harvest a high-end legume.
I call it super beans because I think we are at some point that we can get the best juice out of the data with the help of using AI.
Advanced technology developed by the team at the Ontario Agricultural College speeds up the selection process when crossbreeding seeds.
We are the first breeding program that we are using hybrid AI.
Taking 40 years of archived program data, combining it with published academic papers, and putting it all in one place. That's how Bean GPT was formed.
It's about taking the enormous amount of data that we have through genomic analysis and then making decisions about what varieties to start crossing to achieve what outcome.
I think it's important that we're using the technology that we have for things that will help people in the future.
Thousands of beans, including the AI-influenced ones, were on display at the college's Elora growing facility for the public to enjoy.
Industry partners, governments, farmers, growers, students, all the researchers just coming and see what we are doing training as a plant breeder and computational biologist here at university.
It hasn't exactly been an easy growing season. From severe thunderstorms to swings in extreme heat and even wildfire smoke, all of which can impact how these beans grow.
AI told us that this one is better because it can, better actually tolerate to different climate variables and variations.
Once they're ready to hit the market, the super beans could revolutionize the growing business.
Every dollar invested in research translates into about $40 of commercial value for a farmer. And so, for the sector, this is a really impactful number.
Kara Smap, CTV News, Elora.
Canola street price is down $12.10. Yikes. It's now at $750.95 per ton. Futures price is down $20.50, $805.90 per ton. Amber Durham wheat, no movement, $203.59 per ton. Red spring wheat's going the other way up 41 cents. It's now at $281.90 per ton. Feed barley, $203.59 per ton. Flax, $610.54 per ton. Prices courtesy of Bunge, United Futures Canada. The market's both going down. The TSX down 299 points, the Dow Jones by 116 points. As for the Canadian dollar, take that. Went up 0.1% to 71.96 cents U.S. Got to get to that 72 mark again. Gold down 6 cents. West Texas Intermediate crude up 44 cents. Western Canadian Select crude up $2.18. And gas right now in Regina, most places $1.64.9 per liter.
Sales dropped over 5%, but the national average price moved up a fraction. The Canadian Real Estate Association puts that price at just under $675,000. They say markets are starting to even out, meaning regions that once favored sellers, like the Prairies, Quebec, and the East Coast, are balancing. So is the Ontario market, which had favored buyers. The slump in the U.S. housing market is still weighing on the world's largest home improvement retailer, but Home Depot still managed to increase sales by about 6% in its latest quarter. That came in at just under $48 billion U.S. The company says demand for smaller repair and maintenance projects is resilient. Washington will start applying new tariffs overnight if Canadian trade negotiators can't persuade the U.S. to scrap them. You've likely heard that, among other things, hockey sticks will be hit. But so will dog leashes, saddles, vacuums, chandeliers, wigs, and false beards. Together, they represent about 5% of Canadian exports to the U.S., with a value of about $28 billion a year. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Coming up tonight after the newscast, a couple of big bangs followed by Password, The Amazing Race Canada, Big Bang Theory again, then E-Talk. Then we'll have some national news and then local news. You all right?
Yeah, I thought I was hearing things.
You probably are. Good news for the breakfast anytime crowd. A second Denny's location is coming to Regina.
Who doesn't love breakfast? Based on an update from the Southland Mall, the new location will open somewhere on the mall property. Now, there are 2 vacant restaurants surrounding the Southland Mall, but it's not clear where the Denny's will go or when it will open. The diner-style chain already has 1 location in East Regina. And fresh off the smashing success of the Odyssey, tickets are now available for the next major 70mm IMAX film.
Yes, some excitement in our newsroom for this. Tickets for Dune Part 3 at the Kramer IMAX on sale now. Similar to the Odyssey, it's the only theater in Saskatchewan equipped for the full 70mm experience and one of just 9 theaters in Canada. Dune Part 3 opens in December, and apparently a snippet of this is playing before the Odyssey right now to convince people to...
I didn't even notice. Oh, so, I'm so sorry. I just got scolded in my ear.
That you didn't notice?
Are you a Dune fan?
No. So yeah, I haven't seen Dune 1 or Dune Part 2, so...
Or the original Dune. I think there's like original...
Right. You know what? I'll just go to Part 3 and see if I can figure it out.
Oh my gosh, I would love for you to recap when you do that.
I will.
Okay.
Do you hear that?
Did you not hear that?